The 10 greatest World Cup finals of all time. Football is more than just a game. It is a collection of moments that define nations and etch legends into history. Every 4 years, the world stops. The breath catches, and we wait for that one final match to crown a king. Today, we are counting down the 10 greatest World Cup finals ever played, matches that weren't just games, but epic dramas that changed everything. Let's dive into history. 1994, Brazil vs Italy. Coming in at number 10, we have the 1994 final between Brazil and Italy. This was the first time in history that a World Cup was decided by a penalty shootout, and the tension in the Rose Bowl was absolutely suffocating. Both sides had been titans throughout the tournament. Italy's legend, Roberto Baggio, the man who had carried his team to the final, almost single-handedly stepped up for the deciding kick. When he sent the ball sailing over the bar, it wasn't just a missed penalty, it was the birth of 1,000 broken hearts, and the moment Brazil finally ended their long wait for glory. It set the stage for how high stakes pressure cooker football should feel for every generation to come. But football is not just about the pain of defeat, it is also about the exhilarating moment. A new icon is born. That brings us to our number 9. Brazil vs Sweden. Moving to number 9, we witnessed the birth of a king. In the 1958 final, Brazil faced Sweden, and the world watched in awe as a 17-year-old boy named Pelé announced himself to the world. Brazil triumphed 5-2, but this match was about much more than the scoreline. It was about the arrival of the beautiful game in its purest, most artistic form. For the first time, a South American side conquered Europe, and the world saw teenage prodigy defy the laws of physics with his skill and composure. That night in Stockholm changed the trajectory of the sport forever, proving that genius knows no age. From the rise of a young genius, we shift our focus to a battle where tactical perfection met raw human desperation. 2014, Germany vs Argentina. At number 8, we have the clash of the titans in 2014. Germany versus Argentina. This final in Rio de Janeiro was a brutal, tactical, and exhausting war of attrition. Argentina, led by Lionel Messi, fought with their very lives, coming within inches of achieving the ultimate dream. But in the 113th minute, Mario Götze broke the deadlock with a strike that silenced millions of Argentine fans. It was a heartbreaking night for Messi and his side, but it was a masterclass in German persistence and tactical discipline. It showed us that even the greatest stars in the history of the sport can be silenced by a perfectly engineered defensive machine. While that game was defined by tactical discipline, our next entry was defined by total, unbridled aggression. 2010, Spain vs Netherlands. Number 7 is perhaps the most aggressive and controversial final in modern history. The 2010 showdown between Spain and the Netherlands. The Dutch arrived with a mission to disrupt the flow, resulting in a flurry of cards and a physical battle that nearly boiled over multiple times. The game was intense, ugly, and unforgettable, but football eventually found a way to prevail over the violence. In the dying moments of extra time, Andrés Iniesta found the net, securing Spain's first ever world title and cementing the legendary status of the tiki-taka era. It was a victory of technical brilliance over pure brute force. Technical brilliance is beautiful, but sometimes the beauty of the game is clouded by the heat of intense controversy. 1966, England vs Germany. At number 6, we have the 1966 final between England and Germany, and the most debated moment in football history, the ghost goal. With the score level, Jeff Hurst's shot hit the bar and bounced down. Did it cross the line? The debate has lasted over half a century, and likely always will. England rode the emotion of their home crowd to a 4-2 win, marking the only time the Three Lions claimed the crown. It remains the most mysterious and debated goal in the history of the sport, a moment that will never truly be settled. Moving away from controversy, let's step into an era where football was played with the elegance of a symphony. 5. 1970, Brazil vs Italy. Number 5 belongs to the masters of 1970, Brazil versus Italy. This final was not just a game, it was an art exhibition. Italy tried to contain Brazil with their famous Catenaccio defense, but they were simply no match for the collective genius of the 1970 Brazilian squad. A 4-1 victory, ending with one of the most beautiful team goals ever scored, where nearly every player touched the ball. Many football historians consider this the greatest team ever step onto a pitch. And that night in Mexico City remains the gold standard for attacking football. If 1970 was the victory of the collective, our number 4 spot belongs to the man who redefined what one individual could achieve. 4. 1986, Argentina vs Germany. At number 4, Maradona's tournament. Argentina's victory wasn't just tactical, it was the result of a man who played as if he were guided by a higher power, even against a real comeback stories. 3. 1954, Germany vs Hungary. Number 3 is the ultimate underdog story. The 1954 final between Germany and Hungary, famously known as the Miracle of Bern. Hungary was the invincible force of the 50s, leading 2-0 early on and looking untouchable. But on a rain-soaked, muddy pitch, the Germans pulled off the impossible, fighting back to win 3-2. This victory wasn't just about a trophy, it was about a country finding its soul again after years of darkness. It taught us that as long as the whistle hasn't blown, nothing is impossible, and history can be rewritten in a single afternoon. That afternoon in Bern proved that anything is possible, but even the strongest favorites are not safe from the cruelty of football. 2. 1950, Uruguay vs Brazil. At number 2, we have the biggest shock in history, the 1950 final between Uruguay and Brazil. Known as the Maracanazo, Brazil expected to celebrate a victory in front of 200,000 fans at the Maracanã. The party was already prepared, but Uruguay silenced an entire nation, winning 2-1 in a result so devastating that it is still spoken of with pain today. It remains the ultimate reminder that in football, the favorite does not always win, and the weight of expectation can sometimes become a crushing burden. And now, we arrive at the very summit, a night where every element of drama, skill, and history collided into something eternal. 1. 2022 Argentina vs France. And finally, at number 1, the greatest match ever played, the 2022 final between Argentina and France. It was scripted like the greatest movie ever written. Lionel Messi's final quest, Kylian Mbappe's heroic hat trick, a 3-3 roller coaster that swung back and forth, and a penalty shootout that tested the nerves of every human on earth. It had everything: despair, ecstasy, and the final coronation of the greatest player of all time. It was the night football reached perfection, a match that will be watched and rewatched for the next 100 years. There you have it, the 10 most unforgettable nights in World Cup history. Which one do you think is truly the greatest? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more football stories. Until next time, stay passionate.